Hey everybody, this is David from 4-State Paranormal and Haunting History. I'm here to give you some tips and advice on how to scout locations. Now when you're scouting locations, one of the biggest components that you're going to come across, of course, is people. People are going to make the decision, but there's also people out there that you can talk to that might know of or have heard things about different locations being haunted or having some kind of activity. You don't have to go to the locations that you desire and just start talking to the people. You could be out and about. You could be at a restaurant and start a conversation up with a server. And sometimes when you get into the paranormal conversation, they will actually start telling you things that, just might sound unbelievable. Also, if you're looking for a haunted location, one of the best groups of people to actually talk to are teenagers. Teenagers spread rumors, legends, tell stories. They break into places and they will freak themselves out, and they'll have this story to tell. But ask your local teenagers where they think is the most haunted place within a town. One of my favorite things to do is to actually drive around. I will go to different towns, drive around the historic district, and look at houses or businesses. If one catches my eye, I will actually approach, like if it's a house, I'll knock on the door, and I will talk to the people about their home. Now, I don't just, hey, is your house haunted? No. I actually start up a conversation with them about their house itself. Talk about the history of the house. Has there been any events that might be pretty cool to talk about? Like, was it involved in the Civil War? Was there a famous person that built the house or lived in the house? Things of that nature. Were there any satanic worshiping? But I'll start off with the history, just kind of build up that comfort. If you watch the other videos, one of the things I do is build up comfort. So you start this rapport with them before you start going into the whole paranormal field. I might mention that I do paranormal investigating, and I always go to historic locations, and I appreciate history. So I saw your house, and I just had to stop by and see it. Sometimes they'll let you in for a tour if you're nice with them. They're nice and everything, but just don't come out and ask them for an investigation. It's really off-putting. So just try to remain calm when you approach these people. Talk to them about the history of the location, business or otherwise. Businesses will actually have been other things before they are what they are today. Like, for instance, now it's a theater. Maybe 50, 60 years ago, it was a hotel. You never know. But it's fun to talk about that kind of thing. And it's really enjoyable for that person to be able to share that information with somebody that's truly interested. But driving around is one of the funnest things you can do, even though it costs you gas money. Also, when you're driving around, you can stop at the local museums. Not only do they have the information on the history of the town, but they have information on historic people within the town, events that have happened in town, and this information really helps you out when you're driving around the historic district, and you have something that you can talk to people about as well. Even some of the museum curators will have information for you and probably have heard stories about hauntings. And also, last but not least, let's not forget that some of these museums are in historic buildings, so maybe these museums are experiencing something as well. The internet is a powerful tool for finding locations. This doesn't mean you have to drive anywhere. It doesn't mean you have to really face-to-face talk to anybody. There's a lot of information out there. There are literally websites built just to put out locations that are rumored to be haunted. And I think this is one of the first things that people do when they start a paranormal team or they look for these investigations, is they go to those websites. Other websites that you can go to would be like museums, websites of your local museums, or you can go by county, you can go by towns, and you can find information that way. A lot of the information, just like talking to somebody in person or actually going to the museum, a lot of the information is going to be about the town, it's going to be about events, it's going to be about people. So there's clues there on finding locations that might be interesting. So if you find a location through the museum, you can find contact information for that location and talk to those people directly or email them. Another way to scout online is to find your local historical societies. A lot of them have their own webpage, and a lot of them devote the webpage to different buildings that they represent. They will tell stories, they'll have information, and then also you get a 2-for-1 here, because a lot of these historical societies are the groups that you have to go through to get into these places. So you get your contact information right there on the website, as well as the information of the place that you want to investigate. I do recommend that before you do any investigation at any location, take a tour of the place. Get to hear the stories, get to see and smell and feel and just absorb the information and the history of these locations before you actually investigate it. But these are just a few things that you can do to scout some locations for your team and maybe find that $1 million piece of evidence. Last but not least, always get permission. Don't ever go to a place without permission. Don't trespass, don't do anything of that nature, or you'll end up in jail and be somebody's cuddle buddy. Thank you for checking out this video. If you liked it, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out our other videos for more tips and tricks for paranormal investigators.